maybe no one else has this problem. Maybe this is a me problem, but when I first start a class, it always feels so big to me, and it's like, how do I even attack this problem? Hey everyone, long time no chat. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've made a video. I know I said I was going to make one, but life has been really hectic the last few months. I ended up having surgery, I got a new job, I have started the house buying process and looking for houses, and then of course the holiday season just passed. So things have been a little nuts, but that is okay because WGU is willing to work with you to make things happen. In the last, I don't know, it's probably been 4 months since I last made a video. I have completed 4 classes overall. I've completed managing organizations and leading people, managing human capital, managing communication and marketing, and I'm currently in accounting for decision makers. Sorry, I've got a piece of paper down here with all of the stuff on it. So in that time, you know, like I said, I've had a lot going on, and I've worked really closely with my mentor to, we've had to extend deadlines for multiple classes. You know, the goal was to have 5 classes completed by now. I'm working on my 6th, but I have had 4 classes that I've completed, and I'm working on my 5th. My goal is to have accounting for decision makers done by the end of January and to start a next class in February, but I'm not quite sure, you know, how timing is going to go. Like I said, I'm buying a house, should be closing here shortly, but again, lots is in the air right now. So I am just trying to figure out the best way to make the most progress and make the best use of my time that I have. That being said, I have learned a whole heck of a lot about going to school at WGU in the last 4.5 months or so. So I wanted to share some of those tips with you. The first being is, when you start a new class, my biggest tip for you is to, you know, open the course materials and go through page by page of what you're going to be doing. You know, for your paper-based courses or the courses where you have papers to write, it's going to say, you know, read this section, write this, you know, read these chapters, write this section on the paper, read these chapters, write this section on the paper. And instead of trying to go through, I feel like in the traditional school sense of reading the whole book and then going back to write the paper, I think you're much better off to, you know, read what you're supposed to do for that section of the paper, read the chapters assigned to that, and then write that section, if you even need to go read the chapters. There are some papers, the marketing paper, there's a few sections where a lot of it is just kind of your experience. There's a section that asks you to talk about your social media usage for your company that you're creating this marketing plan for. I don't think you need to read the book for that unless you're really unfamiliar with social media these days. So it really just depends on what information you know versus what you need to learn. But the hardest thing for me to do was wrap my mind around the whole concept of reading to write the paper, instead of reading the whole book, learning all of the material to then go back and write the paper. You are going to learn the most important concepts you need to know by completing the performance assessment, so the papers that you have to write. So that was like the biggest shift from standard school for me. Maybe that's different from other people, but I was very much, you know, struggling with the you know, managing organizations and leading people, and also managing communications papers, because I tried to, you know, read all of the book and then go back and write the paper, and it's just not an efficient use of my time. And that's where a lot of the extensions happened, because I was just getting used to the way you kind of go about doing a WGU performance assessment or paper. Some of the other things that I have come across is just sometimes it's just really not in the mood to learn. And, you know, I tried to set up a space for myself, an office to be able to come into, to kind of shut away everything else that's happening in my house and focus on school. But sometimes my brain just doesn't want to focus in the office. So I have found kind of changing up where I'm learning to be super helpful for me. So sometimes it's, you know, in my bedroom, sometimes it's I take my phone and I use the app and I am in the bath reading, and sometimes I'm taking notes on the notes app on my phone. But sometimes for me, just changing my location if I'm just not feeling like learning or studying, it has been really helpful. One of the other things that I feel like you'll hear about a lot is to watch the cohort videos and participate in a cohort. That's just kind of watching, like attending a Zoom video or meeting. I've never attended a live cohort, but I have watched all of the cohort videos that I can get my hands on, and they have been so helpful. Another thing, if you are kind of struggling to start your paper, or you're just not, in order to set yourself up for success, one of the things that I have found is as soon as you open, or enroll in a new class, you go in and you look at the assessment. If it's a paper, I recommend getting the paper template, and you can find, WGU has like a standard template, and then in the marketing class, they had a template in the course tips. But I found it really helpful to go through and take the template and create the headings for all the sections you need to do. And then when you have those sections listed out, even if you don't want to start reading today, that's fine. But take those sections and write it on your calendar. I have a calendar up here that has, I'm going to do section A today and section A2 tomorrow. And like literally writing those things out to hold yourself accountable is going to be really helpful. And getting started by just writing the headings on your template is a good way to kind of just get started. I know that I have kind of struggled with, oh my gosh, there's so much here. How do I even attack the problem? And that is one of the solutions that I've come up with after talking with a couple different people, including my course mentor and just other friends who are in school, and trying to brainstorm ways to start off more strongly in courses. So that has been, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 tips. I'm not quite sure. I just wrote down a few of the things that have really helped me over the last 4 months, and I feel like I'm finally in a place where I am on top of my schoolwork. I'm not, making it, and maybe no one else has this problem. Maybe this is a me problem, but when I first start a class, it always feels so big to me, and it's like, how do I even attack this problem? So by really sitting down, starting with the paper template, saying, these are the sections I have to complete. This is how I can break it down. If there's section A, B, C, D, E, but, sections, but they all have like A1, B1, A2, B2. Then it becomes a lot more sections. So splitting it up into smaller chunks will just make it easier for you to get started and be able to finish the paper in a normal amount of time, or in the amount of time that you want to finish the paper. So yeah, that's kind of what I've learned so far. I don't know if any of these will be helpful, but I hope that they are. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if you have any other tips. If you're farther along than me, if you've just started and you've done WGU schooling before and found other things that are helpful, please drop them in the comments. I know that other people watch this too, and so having those in the comments will just help, help other people try and get done with their WGU journey as fast and as efficient as they can. So I really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch the video, and good luck on your studying. Bye!